And we're back. Welcome to part 3 of lean muscle gains. So far, we've learned what makes muscles grow and how to train so you don't just sweat, you grow. But today, we're talking about something even more powerful than your deadlift PR. Food. Yep. Today's the part where broccoli becomes anabolic and your protein shake stops tasting like chalky regret. Because here's the deal. You can lift like a beast, but if you eat like a toddler, you're just building expensive poop. In this episode, we're breaking down the real nutrition strategy for lean muscle growth. Calories, macros, timing, even supplements. But more importantly, how to gain muscle without getting fat. You're gonna learn how to eat for growth, not just vibes, because bulking shouldn't just mean bloated and horny. So grab your fork or your shaker, and let's get into part 3, nutrition for muscle gain. All right, let's start simple. You wanna build muscle? Cool. Then you need to give your body the actual resources to do it. Because no matter how perfect your workout split is, or how intense you go in the gym, none of it matters if your body doesn't have the raw material to recover and grow. That raw material? It starts with calories, energy, fuel. Now, there's this thing called energy balance. Basically, it's the relationship between how many calories you take in and how many you burn. If you eat exactly what you burn, you maintain. Nothing changes. Your body's just breaking even. But to build muscle, we need to tip that scale. Slightly, carefully, intentionally. You need to eat in a surplus, which just means more calories than you're burning. But here's where people mess it up. A lot of people hear surplus and immediately think, cool, time to eat pizza, drink shakes, and live in sweatpants for 6 months. No, that's not a lean bulk. That's just a lazy one. A lean gain means just enough of a surplus to support muscle growth without packing on unnecessary fat. That's the goal here. Not just weight, but quality weight, muscle weight. For most people, the sweet spot is around 250 to 500 extra calories per day. That's it, not 1,000. Not eat everything in sight and call it bulking. Think of it like this. Building muscle without a surplus is like trying to build a house without enough bricks. You can have the best construction crew in the world, all the tools, the blueprint, everything. But if you're short on materials, all you're getting is a fancy shed and a broken dream. Your body needs energy to train hard, sure, but it also needs energy to repair the muscle fibers you break down in the gym, and even more energy to synthesize new ones. That's the real cost of muscle growth. And unlike fat storage, your body's actually kind of picky about building muscle. It's slow. It's expensive. It wants to know that you're serious. So when you're not eating enough, your body doesn't just pause the gains. It adapts. It gets stingy. It starts conserving. And you'll plateau, get frustrated, and wonder why your strength is stalling even though you're training hard. Meanwhile, too much of a surplus, and yeah, you'll gain weight. Fast. But most of it won't be muscle. It'll be fat. And that just sets you up for a long, annoying cut later, where you try to get lean again without losing the muscle you worked so hard to build. It's like 2 steps forward, 1 step straight into sadness. This is why we don't dirty bulk. Because the goal here isn't to gain weight fast, it's to gain lean tissue efficiently, slowly, smartly, the kind of gains that stick around. Now don't get me wrong, your scales should go up. That's part of it. You'll gain some fat. That's inevitable. But you want the majority of your gains to come from actual muscle tissue. That's the reason we track calories, monitor weight trends, and keep the surplus controlled. You're not force-feeding yourself. You're fueling a process. You're giving your body just enough extra to say, hey, I can afford to grow. And when you match that with consistent training, that's when the magic happens. Strength goes up. Recovery gets easier. You fill out your shirts, and not just in the belly. That's when progress starts to show in the mirror, not just the scale. So yeah, food isn't just part of the muscle-building puzzle. It is the puzzle. Training triggers growth, but food makes it possible. Without it, you're just breaking your body down over and over with nothing to rebuild it. Now that we've got your energy needs dialed in, let's talk about what those calories are made of, because not all calories are created equal. You can eat 3,000 calories of donuts and sadness, Or you can eat 3,000 calories of actual nutrients and watch your body thank you with biceps. Enter the macronutrients, the big three: protein, carbohydrates, and fat. Each one plays a different role, and if you screw up the balance, your gains are going to suffer faster than your motivation on leg day. Let's start with the golden child of muscle building, protein. Protein is the builder, the repairman, the one actually doing the heavy lifting after you leave the gym. When you train, you're breaking muscle fibers down. Protein is what your body uses to patch them up and make them thicker, stronger, and harder to squeeze into your favorite hoodie. So how much do you need? The sweet spot for most lifters is around 1.6 to 2.2 grams per kilogram of body weight. Translation: if you're a 75 kilograms dude, you're aiming for somewhere between 120 to 165 grams of protein per day. No, you don't need to carry a calculator in your gym bag. Just learn to eyeball it over time. But here's the part people forget: quality matters. Not all protein is created equal. You want complete sources. That means foods that give you all the essential amino acids your body can't make on its own. Animal proteins are great: chicken, beef, eggs, dairy. Plant-based, go for soy, quinoa, or mix things up with legumes and grains. And yeah, whey protein. It's fast, it's convenient, and it's like the cheat code for hitting your target when you don't feel like cooking for the 5th time today. And don't just slam it all in one meal like a caveman. Spread it out. Try to get 20 to 40 grams of protein in 3 to 5 meals per day. That's how you keep your body in a muscle-friendly state all day long. Think of it like charging your gains battery. Every few hours, top it up. Now onto carbs. Carbs are the fuel. They're not the enemy. They're not going to make you fat unless you eat them like a stoned raccoon with a credit card. In fact, if you're training hard and not eating enough carbs, you're shooting yourself in the foot. Carbs refill your muscle glycogen stores, which is basically the gas tank your muscles use when you're lifting, sprinting, or even just being a functioning human. No glycogen, no power. You'll feel flat, weak, and cranky. Your workout becomes a warm-up, and your pump disappears faster than your will to live on leg press. So eat your carbs. Whole carbs are your base: rice, oats, potatoes, fruit, veggies, all that boring grown-up stuff. But sugars? They've got their place too, especially around workouts. A little white rice or fruit before training. Instant fuel. A post-lift bowl of cereal with your protein shake. That's actually helping you recover, not ruining your life. Just don't live off Pop-Tarts and pretend it's strategic. You're not a bodybuilder in 2004. Now finally, fats. Fats are the regulators. They're not about energy or building muscle directly. They're about keeping your hormones in check so your body can actually function like a muscle-building machine. Want healthy testosterone levels? You need fat. Want your joints not to feel like gravel when you wake up? Fat helps. Want your brain to work during your set so you don't forget how to count to 10? Fat helps with that too. You want around 0.8 to 1 gram per kilogram of body weight in dietary fat. That's enough to keep everything running smoothly without sacrificing your macros for peanut butter alone. And yes, we all know it's a problem once you open the jar. Go for healthy fat sources: eggs, olive oil, nuts, seeds, fatty fish. Keep the saturated fats moderate and avoid going ultra-low fat unless your goal is to feel terrible and have zero libido. You're trying to build, not slowly wither away. So now you've got the calories and the macros, the what and the how much. But here's where people start to overthink things. When do I eat? How many meals? Do I set an alarm to chug a shake at 3 a.m.? And the big one, is the anabolic window real or just a bro science bedtime story? Let's break it down without the fluff. Pre- and post-workout nutrition, yeah, it matters. But not because your muscles are going to vanish if you don't slam a shake within 37 seconds of re-racking your last dumbbell. That's not how bodies work. You're not a gremlin. You can eat after midnight. But it is smart to have protein and carbs around your training. Why? Because protein gives your body the building blocks it needs to recover, and carbs give you the fuel to perform, and later, to restore what you just burned. So here's the no-stress version. Try to get a solid meal with protein and carbs about 1 to 2 hours before you train. Could be chicken and rice. Could be oats and whey. Whatever you can digest comfortably without feeling like you're about to bench burp your lunch. Then after your session, within an hour or two, same deal. Get protein and some carbs. It doesn't need to be complicated. If you're hungry right after, great, eat then. If not, you've got time. This idea that you've got 30 minutes before your muscle disappears into thin air. That's the old school anabolic window myth. The truth, that window is more like a garage door. It stays open for a while. What really matters is consistency across the day. If you're getting your total calories and protein in over 3 to 5 meals, you're in a great place. The magic doesn't come from perfect timing. It comes from repeated exposure. Muscle building is like bugging customer service. If you keep hitting it with the same message all day long, eventually it responds. In this case, with gains. And here's the beauty of it. You don't need to obsess over Tupperware. Eat every 2 hours, or schedule your life around your next chicken breast. Just make sure you're eating enough, often enough, and that your meals include the stuff we talked about: protein, carbs, healthy fats. So whether it's 3 big meals or 4 to 5 medium ones, pick a routine that fits your lifestyle. That way, you can actually stick to it, and the results will come without you losing your mind or your social life. And if you're one of those people who forgets to eat, fix that. Set a reminder, pack snacks, do what you gotta do. Because skipping meals on a bulk is like skipping forearms on arm day. It's not illegal, but it should be. Supplements. Everyone loves to ask about them. What's the best protein powder? Do I need BCAAs? Is creatine gonna make me bald or just jacked? Let's cut through the hype, because supplements are exactly what the name says. They supplement. They're not the main course. They're not magic. They're the 5%, not the foundation. That being said, some of them actually do work. So here's the no BS list of what's worth your time and your money. Number 1, creatine monohydrate. Not fancy creatine. Not overpriced blends with glitter in the label. Just plain old monohydrate. It's been studied for decades and proven over and over to increase strength, power, and muscle volume. 5 grams a day, every day. Doesn't matter when, and you're good. And no, it doesn't destroy your kidneys unless you're already trying to donate one. Next up, whey protein. Whey's not a necessity, but it's super convenient. Can't hit your protein goal with whole foods? Toss in a shake. Busy schedule? Shake. Post-workout, and you don't feel like chewing a full meal? Shake. It's not better than chicken or eggs. It's just faster. That's it. Use it smart, not as a replacement for real meals. If your whole diet is scoops and powders, you're not bulking. You're blending your dignity. Third, caffeine. Good old caffeine. Whether it's in coffee or a pre-workout, caffeine is one of the few legal performance enhancers that actually works. It boosts alertness, helps with endurance, and yeah, it makes you feel like you can lift a little heavier. But don't abuse it. No one needs 600 milligrams of rage juice to do cable curls. Find your sweet spot and leave room to sleep at night. Now you might be wondering, what about all the other stuff? The fat burners, testosterone boosters, those mysterious pills with names like Gorilla Mode Venom 9000? Skip it. If it sounds like it was named in a lab and a strip club, it's probably not science-backed. So remember, supplement what's missing. Don't replace what matters. If your sleep sucks, your diet is trash, and you train like a potato, no pill is gonna save you. Build your house with food, training, and rest. Then maybe you can decorate it with a little creatine and caffeine. All right, so we've covered calories, macros, timing, and the few supplements that are actually worth your time. But now, let's be honest, even when people know what to do, they still find ways to mess it up. So let's talk about the sneaky mistakes. The stuff that quietly kills your gains while you're thinking, I'm doing everything right. Spoiler, you're not. Yet. First up, dirty bulking. Look, we all love food. We all love the idea of eating 5,000 calories and calling it growing season. But there's a fine line between bulking and just straight up body fat cosplay. Yeah, you'll gain weight. Fast. But most of it won't be muscle. And then guess what? You'll spend months later trying to cut all that fat back off, while desperately clinging to the muscle you actually did build underneath. It's like digging a hole just to climb out of it. Not smart, not sexy, and not necessary. So keep it lean, keep it controlled. Give your body what it needs, not what your cravings scream for at 1 a.m. Next, the protein shake trap. Look, shakes are fine. They're convenient. But if you're relying on them for every meal, that's not a meal plan. That's a milk-based lifestyle crisis. Real food matters. It's not just about protein grams. It's about micronutrients, fiber, chewing, digestion, satisfaction. Your body evolved to eat actual meals, not to live on scoops and shaker bottles. If your blender's doing more reps than you are, it's time to reevaluate. And speaking of digestion, don't sleep on fiber and micronutrients. Yeah, I know, fiber isn't sexy. No one's flexing their colon on Instagram. But trust me, you need it. Fiber keeps your digestion smooth, your gut happy, and your body functioning like the machine it's supposed to be. Same goes for vitamins and minerals. If you're ignoring fruits and veggies just because they don't have 30 grams of protein per serving, you're missing the forest for the six-pack. Pro tip, and yes, this is coming from someone who lifts. You can and should eat veggies, fruits, and whole grains, even when you're bulking. They're not just cutting foods. They support your health, recovery, and digestion no matter what phase you're in. Plus, they keep your toilet time peaceful. And no one talks about that, but we all know it matters. So yeah, avoid the lazy bulk. Stop drinking your meals like a frat boy on a cleanse. And for the love of gains, eat something green once in a while. And now that we've cleared the landmines, let's bring it home. Because this whole time, we've been talking about fueling your body for growth. But growth isn't just something you feel, it's something you can measure. So how do you know it's working? That's what we're hitting in the next part. How to track real progress. Not just scale weight, but muscle, strength, and the stuff that actually shows you're building something. So we've talked training, we've talked nutrition. You're eating more, hitting your macros, staying lean, and giving your body everything it needs to grow. Feels like you're locked in, right? But here's the twist. A lot of people do everything right. They train, they eat, they even track their protein down to the gram. And then they ask the one question that still messes them up. Wait, am I bulking? Maintaining? Cutting? Am I even in the right phase? Because yeah, eating for muscle is crucial. But if you don't actually know what phase you're in, or worse, you're switching every 2 weeks because you feel fluffy or flat, you're just spinning your wheels. Now I'm going to make a suggestion, but before I do, real quick, can I ask a favor? Just scroll down and leave any comment. It can be a question, a banana emoji, or tell me how much protein you just ate. Doesn't matter. Comments help push this video so it reaches more people who need it. It helps the channel grow, and honestly, it helps some random dude out there stop dirty bulking into oblivion. So thank you for that. Alright, suggestion time. If you haven't already, I made a full breakdown on how to build muscle without getting fat. And that video goes deep into understanding the phases: bulk, maintain, cut. It ties perfectly into what we just talked about today. Because even if your nutrition is on point, you need to know what direction you're steering the ship. That video helps you figure that out. So you're not just eating, you're eating with a purpose. You can watch it right here on the screen. It's the one on the right side, next to whatever chaos YouTube's suggesting you watch next. Go check it out, get your phase locked in, and keep those gains clean. Stay strong, stay smart, and stay a chimp. Peace.